I'm really excited to bring up Connor Steinbrook. Hi, Connor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing?
Good. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Just a little bit about Connor. He's going to be talking about Evergreen marketing. He is a former professional online poker player, a founder of Investor Army and Team Wolfpack. He used social media to grow his business from near bankruptcy to a multi-million-dollar company within 3 years. He has a social media, and he is a social media influencer with nearly 40,000 YouTube subscribers and 2.1 million views. So we have like a little celebrity here. So
Hardly.
thank you so much for joining us, and take it away.
Yeah, how's everybody doing, guys? Hope everyone's doing well, and you guys all had a great Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and you guys are ready to get back to business. But let me kind of just share some things I've learned about marketing over the years, because I struggled quite badly when I got into the industry. So what happened to me, guys, is when I jumped into real estate, I had a past career that disappeared overnight, and I had to find something else to do. And so I was floundering and jumping around different industries, and I found myself in the real estate space on the investing side, and I made every mistake in the book and went $100,000 in debt. So I ran out of money, but I had time. And so when it comes to marketing, you always have one or two things that are impacting this: your time and your money. So if you have no time, no money, you have to use time strategies. And if you have a lot of money but not a lot of time, you use that money to buy back your time by having systems and lead generation and employees and virtual assistants and things like that come and do it for you. So what happened to me was, instead of filing bankruptcy, I was working for minimum wage jobs, trying to keep money going, and I was building websites out. I was watching YouTube videos. And I was going on YouTube to try to figure out how to generate leads in my business without spending money, but I could do so with my time. And I was coming across what's called SEO optimization and website building. I was watching videos on how to build WordPress websites using YouTube videos, and I was linking private YouTube videos to my websites at the time because Google had just acquired YouTube, and I knew it was going to help push up the algorithm. I built accidentally the #1 house buying websites for most of the biggest long-tailed and short-tailed keywords here in North Dallas or North Texas. And I built a large wholesaling company first, went into fixing and flipping properties, started buying rentals, went into owner financing, started creating notes, buying land, mobile homes and land along the way. I joined EXP, and we built our organization up to over 1,600 agents. So we've done a lot through social media and internet marketing and through YouTube. Now, why is YouTube the most powerful form of marketing, in my opinion, in the industry or in all industries today? So let's take a look at some of the things that we have to take a look at when it comes to marketing. So everyone on here should understand the difference between passive income and active income. So there's 3 ways to create income in business: actively, residually, or passively, or through equity models. Most people spend their whole career working for only active income. This is why they never create wealth. Wealth is not created through active income. Active income is directly trading your time to create that income stream: a job, flipping houses, selling houses, where when your time stops, your income stops. What creates wealth is equity models, because equity can expand without your time to grow it, and then cash flow models, passive income. So why is passive income better than active income? Because it gives us time and money. So let's talk about marketing. We want marketing out there that acts residually. So let's look at marketing with proactive strategies or reactive strategies using social media. So what most people do is they do proactive marketing. They're trading their time to this. It's not a leveraged form of marketing on a one-to-one time basis, or they're doing something that's very limited with their leverage. Meaning, I can reach out to someone on Facebook, reach out to a client, reach out to an agent if they want to join our team, reach out to a private money lender. I'm taking my time one-to-one here. So you're going to grow really, really slow. Whereas what if I took that same time, filmed a video, put that video on the internet, and had people react to it? So reactionary leads, meaning they're coming to you. Now, what does this do? It saves you the time of reaching out yourself, and it increases the likelihood that multiple leads comes from that same time unit spent, if that makes sense. So I can trade an hour to reach out to someone and talk to them, or I can trade an hour filming videos and placing these on YouTube, which is evergreen content, which is what we're going to talk about here. So why is this so important? Because if you send a postcard to someone's house, they touch it and throw it in the trash can, or touch it and throw it in a drawer. You put a video on the internet, it is out there every single day getting views and working for you. So not only is it a residual form of marketing where people are coming to you, it's an extended time horizon because it's out there forever. So you can invest your energy and efforts into your business, your marketing, a lot more in depth, because you know that you're going to get a high return on that energy put in there long term. Whereas what most people are doing is they're trading their time directly to one usage, one unit in, one unit out, and nothing that has a long-term time horizon to it, if that makes sense. Now, the biggest benefit of YouTube is obviously the long-term benefit is it's for a free platform, minus the expenses you're already using certain things in your business, and the time horizon which your marketing is going to be out there. But let's talk about the conversion rates of why you're going to see more and higher conversion rates as a percentage basis using video marketing and internet marketing. So When it comes to the way that we communicate, there's four main ways right now that most people are communicating in business. Text form only, which would be like a text with your phone, Facebook, Instagram, messengers, emails, just text form. This is the worst way you can grow a business, guys. So if you're only communicating with people in your business through text form, why you're growing slow. A better form of communication would be audio form. So instead of typing a message, you're going to have audio form. You can talk over the phone or over like Clubhouse or something like this. So it's just audio. Now, what does this do? It gives you the tonality, the inflection, and the delivery of the message. And the third form of communication is going to be what we're doing right now in video form communication, where you can see me, you can hear me, and you can hear the text. And the most highest form of communication is in person because you can feel what's happening at the moment. So the easiest way to understand this, guys, is that say it's a baseball game. In a baseball game, we can either read about it in the newspaper, listen to it over the radio, watch it on television, or go to the game in person. Now think about sensory overload. So one of the reasons why most people are struggling in the world today with marketing is they're scared to talk to people. They're scared to put their face on camera. They're scared to get on camera. They're scared to even get on a phone. They want to hide behind a text message. So guys, if you're running your business through text form communications, the number one reason you're probably not growing at the rate that you want to grow at. Now let's look at the form of communication conversion. You guys may be familiar with what's called 10-45-45. It's a breakdown of how we communicate. So 10% is a text form, 45% is a study breaking down the way that we deliver those texts, meaning the punchline, how we say the words, the tonality of it. So think if two movie stars went for the same role, only one can get that movie role, even though they have the exact same script. So it's how you say what you say, not what you say is what really matters. And then the other 45% is body language communication, nonverbal body language communication. So if 90% of your communication process comes from the tonality of the voice, the inflection, and the energy delivered, and the transference of energy, and then the other 45% is nonverbal body language communication. So they've now proven that over 90% of our way to communicate is done through video for the most part and audio. Then how can you build a business just doing text form communication is what I really want to get across to you guys. It's why I see so many people struggle. So that's one of the main reasons to get on YouTube. Now let's talk about why evergreen marketing is good for organic because it has a long time horizon. But what about paid ad strategies using YouTube or using social media? So let's talk about efficiencies and expenses when we're growing our business. So one of the problems is if you don't have a lot of money, you need to be very careful with the money that you spend. And so if you're going to send a postcard to a house, what is the expense to do it? The same expense to send the next postcard, right? And then the next postcard and the next postcard. Why internet marketing is a little bit better is because once you get that initial click or initial interaction, you can do what's called retargeting. In the drip marketing, meaning the repetition, the marketing that you send out over and over to that same lead or same person or same house is going to actually reduce from the initial cost. So it'd be like if a postcard went from 40 cents down to 10 cents on that follow-up. So you're going to be able to stretch your dollars a little bit more, a little bit further. You can also, what happens is you're going to see a conversion rate much higher when you're using video form communication because the rapport building process is done before you actually even go out to the property and talk to that homeowner. So what do we usually do, guys, when we get a lead that comes in? We go out or someone in our organization goes out and works that lead. They go to the house and they're trying to build rapport with that person, build some commonality, build a relationship because you're about to go into a very emotionally tough situation, a lot of money involved, and who knows what's going on in the personal life of the individuals we're talking to, right? So you have to build that rapport at the property, which is what? One-to-one time usage, one-to-one time being traded to create that rapport. Now, what if I'm consistently putting videos out there on the internet for clients to come across and they're watching my videos? What happens if they watch the videos over and over and over for a month and then they decide to pick up the phone and call me? Now, think about the conversion rate doing this. When someone calls you inbound, meaning they reach out to you as compared to you reaching out cold to someone interrupting their day, how well do you think it's going to go? So they won't call you unless they're ready to work with you is how this works because they would never pick up the phone if they consciously and unconsciously weren't already in their mind saying, I can see myself working with this person I'm reaching out to, because otherwise they never would have reached out to you. So what does that actually do for us on our side? Saves us a ton of time, right? So we're not having to spend all that time building rapport with the clients. When they contact us, the rapport is already built. It's just how can we go ahead and sign the contract? And I'll give you a real case study. There was actually, I'm not going to name the name, he was a Super Bowl winner for the Cowboys. And I actually bought one of his houses. He went broke, unfortunately, so I'm not going to embarrass him. But what happened was they were in foreclosure. A ton of people were marketing to them. Bankruptcy attorneys were putting packets on their doorstep. People were leaving notes on their garage door. People were, they had packets of, mailers like this tall on the desk when I went inside. So how did I get the deal? Because I came from a different approach through evergreen marketing, internet marketing, and video marketing. So what happens is these homeowners are getting keywords keyworded marketing sent to them, like we buy houses, sell your house fast, I can stop foreclosure. We understand that from inside the industry looking towards the community, but they don't really understand how it all works from their side, if that makes sense. So when they're getting these postcards sent to them, what they feel like, and I've talked to many homeowners, is it feels like they're being hunted for their situation that's not in a good situation. So they don't like the ability that people are trying to make money off of them when they're at rock bottom, if that makes sense. But they still need to solve their problem and have that solution fixed. So they need to have a company like ours or yours go and do this for them. But what they want to have control. And so what happens is this individual contacted me, called me, said they got my postcard, I think, even though I don't send out postcards anymore, which means that they got somebody else's postcard. So somebody else spent the money to create the attention, create the focus on the type of company that we are and that we have as far as all this, what we do in our industry. But they contacted me because they went on the internet and they typed in "we buy houses" or "how to stop foreclosure," and I popped up and they thought I was the company that was marketing to them. They went into agreement with me and I got that deal and I made a lot of money on that house. Now, why is this different than the different approach everybody else is doing? When they contacted me, even though I'm the same as all these other contacting companies that was contacting them, they felt in control. They felt in the position of power, if that makes sense. They're in control of their own destiny as compared to having someone kind of chase them down and hunt them in a situation where they feel might not be a good one for them in their life. So it's a completely different approach when people find you off the internet and contact you. And once you guys spend a little bit of effort and start building up this database, think about like how a rental portfolio grows slowly over time. Each year you're adding to your portfolio, adding rentals, stacking up, and it grows and folds on top and layers on top of what you had built previously up and before this. Because of evergreen marketing and consistent, or because the marketing is going to stay out there forever, each year think about your video database as a rental portfolio, a long-term asset that's an income stream, because every video that you put on the internet has a value attached to it. Some is a bigger value than some, and some is a smaller value. Some videos you may put out could make you $1 million legitimately, and we've seen this happen. I know people that have had this happen. So every year you have more videos on the internet, more chances for the community to find you, more chances for more partners to find you, more credibility on the internet, if that makes sense. So you can build off of this and grow off of this and extend it over time. And it's something that you need to think about, guys, as your organic strategies on social media need to be a long-term game plan like your rental portfolio. You're going to build it incrementally over time. Now, if you want to go direct to the consumer and get immediate strategies, immediate leads coming in, that's when you move to the paid strategies and you start using paid strategies directly and put people into a retargeting system. Okay. Now, where do I want to go here? So let's talk about how to use your evergreen content in your video marketing to amplify the other types of marketing that you're already doing. So some of the things that people are doing is changing the way that people are sending traditional marketing out there. For example, you're starting to see billboards on the internet. Instead of this big slogan like "we buy houses," go over here. It's just literally see what your house is worth, go to www.whatever, and they're going to go over there and they're going to click a video and it's going to put them into a system. They're going to have to put their email in and they're going to come try to figure out what their property is worth. But we're driving them to a video landing page instead of having to try to call our office, because we want them to go into an automated follow-up system and we want them to get into a system that's already built, that's going to save our time from having to work that lead if we don't have our time available right then at that moment, if that makes sense. So long-term, what we're trying to do is essentially create a strategy that goes hand in hand, organic growth and paid growth with a backend system using either an email service, like an email sequencing system, or some type of drip funnel where once they go in, we have something working behind the scenes. Think about Evergreen, how a video would stay out there ever. But if you can put someone into a drip sequence that's built out long-term, it's similar to Evergreen. It's not forever, but it's going to be an extended follow-up system, if that makes sense. So we're trying to drive people into these types of positions in our business. Now, what I'm talking about when layering your video marketing on top of your normal marketing is, instead of driving people to a phone number, instead of driving them to like a one-page website where they're going to get an offer, send them to your YouTube channel, send them to your videos, send them, instead of having just a website on your marketing, send them to your YouTube channel. Because what's going to happen, guys, is as a lead comes in, let's say I'm marketing the same house that you're marketing to. You and I both go to the same house. But on my marketing and my postcards or my flyers or my ads or my business card even, I'm leaving, go check me out on my YouTube channel, or go check me out, look into me, because I'm intentfully trying to get them to go find me on the internet. Because what I want them to do is see the difference between the competitor that I'm competing against. Because if you go to the house and you make the same offer, same conditions, same everything, everything's held constant, we're all the same, we could even look the same, and I do the same thing, and then they look for you on the internet, you're hard to find, maybe you have a website, no social media presence, no social media following, and then they look up me on the internet and I'm everywhere. Who do you think is going to who do you think they're going to go with on the biggest transaction of their life, one of the most important things in their life, which is selling their house? Now, why is this going to work? Because of what's called credibility marketing. So guys, write this down. This is the key buzzword that I think is being talked about by the highest level entrepreneurs all around the world behind the scenes. In a world of digital attention, credibility marketing is the most important thing that we have. Now, what creates credibility? So think of life in a hierarchy structure. Everything has a hierarchy to it. So look at school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Look at the military. Look at anything in the world. There's a pyramidal structure. Everything has a pyramid hierarchy structure where it funnels up to the top, if that makes sense. And so, I kind of lost my train of thought. What was I going to say there? Literally, can't believe I just lost my train of thought. I guess I'm going to make a really good point for you there. Oh yeah, credibility market. Okay, now I lost. Okay, so when we have a hierarchy, when you're on a level above, people give you more credibility, right? So let's think about what creates the credibility. Microphones in your hand, microphones on stage, right? Being on a podcast, being on camera, using like a book licensing deal. You're seeing this become very common out there where people are using book licensing deals where they didn't write the book, but their face goes on it. So think about like Robert Kiyosaki or Bill O'Reilly, how they have all these books. Did they actually write these books, or are they leveraging someone else's energy and effort to write those books and put their face on it? So why credibility is important, guys, is because you're going to win in heads up battles versus your competition. So think about what YouTube does. It puts you on camera. It puts you on video. Now, why does this change the way that people work with you and the way that people talk to you? So, you heard Jamie on here a second ago saying, I'm kind of like a celebrity. Guys, I'm just a business owner just like you. I'm no celebrity. I'm an average guy. I work hard, I care about my future, and I work on my business. But because I'm on camera and because enough people click that subscribe button, the perception that I'm on the higher level of credibility in the marketplace is there. Because as we grow up, especially our generation and the generation before us, what do we grow up with? The television, who's on TV, politicians, movie stars, athletes, people that we've dreamt of being like, right? We watch them, they don't watch us. So if you get yourself into a position, guys, using a free platform like YouTube or social media, the more video marketing you have, the more of a position of credibility you have in comparison to the people that you're competing against in the marketplace, which is just another way that you guys are definitely going to go out there and have a higher conversion rate. So when it comes to YouTube, the main benefits, obviously, guys, are it's number one video platform in the world. It has the highest form of targeted marketing, which I'm going to talk about a couple last things, Chris. I'll leave it here with paid marketing strategies as on top of what they can use. It has a quick way of getting in front of people, but also having a long-term follow-up process through retargeting if you're going to do it that way, and then just through putting more videos out on the internet using YouTube's automated follow-up system, which shows just like the browse feature and things like that. So when it comes to like paid marketing, the number one thing that you guys need to think about is how to skip and jump up in front of the line. So like if you're doing organic marketing, it takes time to build this up. It takes time for it to grow. It takes time to trigger the algorithm. But if you're going to use paid marketing, you can skip the line. So what a lot of people are doing, guys, is think of it like a state fair where there's 50 people in line. You can pay to get in front of that line. And not to go off all deep into the traffic sources and the analytics and the algorithms, there's what's called a browse feature as far as one of the YouTube algorithms that they have. So you guys can, in order to help your organic growth, you can run a small amount of paid ads to a good video that you have. And if you guys have videos on your channel, what I would do is I'd go back into your YouTube channel analytics and I would search your videos and sort them by the most subscribed to video per view. So like, for example, like one video may have more views than the other one, but out of 100 views, how many people subscribe to that, if that makes sense. So we want to find the video that has the most subscribers per 100 or per 1,000 views, and we want to run paid ads to that video. Why do we want to run paid ads to that video? Because we now have data from the organic side of things that we're doing that says not only do people watch this video and have a high watch time, people watch it and subscribe to it. So what we want to do is we want to run paid ads to that video, and we want to get people to click it. And once they click it and watch it, what do? We have them into a retargeting system, but also that's going to trigger YouTube's algorithm and put that person in what's called the browse feature. And so you guys know what the browse feature is. If you go to YouTube today, let's say you haven't been to like any type of weird website for some random industry, like a bed or something like this. Like I went to a bed site the other day, and for like days I had them following me around the internet, seeing that pop up all over the place, if that makes sense. So we're trying to use the paid ads to catch that initial click, to get people in the browse feature, film a really good videos for the first video that they see. And then what happens is when we post our next video organically, it's going to come up on their Facebook thread. So when I go on YouTube, you're going to usually see 8 to 12 boxes. These are called impressions. I mean, these are called, they're basically flashing a thumbnail to you called impression. And when it's clicked, it creates what's called a click-through rate. So let's say they show you 100 impressions and 10 people click it. That's a 10% click-through rate, if that makes sense. But once somebody clicks that, those following organic videos that you guys put up are going to show up in their feed. And that's how you use a small monetary amount for paid ads to drive people into your organic side where they start following you. And then your videos are out there. As more people watch them, YouTube's going to support those videos and promote those videos out there further. And you're going to basically start to have a snowball effect with your YouTube channel, and you're going to have high organic growth that way. Now, Chris, how long do I have here? You want me to go for a little bit longer? Did you want me to open up for
yeah, well, why don't we open up for Q&A? Because I know you like to free flow, and it was kind of funny when you lost your train of thought, and I think it's just because you run at 100 miles an hour. And so some people say, like, "Hey, you talk so fast." I'm like, well, I mean, when you got the experience and then you're also still passionate about it, that's what happens. But so years ago when we first met, you told me, I obviously know what you did on YouTube, and you were telling me, hey, look, go out there, you got to create this content, you got to do it, you got to do it. And I knew you were right, but I didn't, because I made excuses because I was busy, and really I was busy, so that's not an excuse. But I didn't really ask the right question: how can I do it? And then I stumbled onto Gary V, which I know you know Gary V, and he came up with a strategy called document, don't create. Meaning you can go out there and create new, beautiful, very flashy content, or you can document what you're already doing, listing appointments. Or flip property. You're going to meet with your contractor, and you're going to go over the budget, or you're going over a change order. Like your contractor's like, hey, you need to check this out. Like it's probably going to be an extra $1,500. Go out there, record it, ask those questions. Boom, there's a YouTube video. All of that is content that your target audience can consume and then engage with you in some way, whether it's a like, a comment, a subscription, or as we're talking now, I'm getting feedback in from DMs, emails, and then some people who have my my cell phone are texting me asking questions and doing this and that or whatever. And then of course we've had hundreds of comments throughout the day on the various channels that we're streaming this on. So you can document what you're already doing, and you don't really have to worry about creating. And I got a really good example, and I want to hear because you've said this before, and I want to hear more about it because we've never really talked about it in detail. So I went, and I don't know if this is before or after you prompted this, but in any case, Jamie and I, we like going in open houses. So this is for the realtors out there. But it's not, I mean, investors can do it too. But for the realtors out there looking to get more sales, Jamie and I, we like going to open houses. And there's a new community right by our house. So I decided, hey, I'm getting on these flip properties. I'm getting a lot of calls from California, New York, and all that stuff. But I mean, they can't see the house this weekend. They probably would like to see a video of it though. What if I recorded a model home for a developer? So I went. I brought my flashy camera. I get there. I forget the tripod. Actually, I bring the wrong tripod. So I'm like, so now I have to use my iPhone, the old rinky-dink iPhone that's more powerful than most computers were 10 years ago. So I have to use my iPhone, and all I do, and seriously, you can go on my YouTube channel today, right now. We're streaming this, and you can see this. But that all I did was record myself walking through the model home and commenting on it. And I'm not the best narrator. But I'm commenting on the floors, like how big, how many square feet it is, how many bedrooms, bath, price point, and the area. And then I did like a 3-minute question with the home builder rep that was there. That's it. Within like 30 days, boom, #1 channel on my video on my YouTube channel. So I'm over here thinking, man, I put all this sweat and tears into like the summit, like all the work we do in the summit. But I mean, this one will do well because it's live and it's such deep content. But we do a lot of content with very detailed content on real estate investing, and then this video walkthrough, simple, like nothing flashy, of walking through a model home is top of my channel. So right now, looking on my channel, of the top 10 videos of the last 30 days, number 2 is a model home walkthrough. Number 3 or number 4 is the video I just described, that very first one. That one's number 4 now. Number 6, number 8, number 9. Those are all of the top 10 videos are model home walkthroughs that anyone can do. You can do it with your iPhone. You can do it with your Android. You don't have to do anything fancy. If you want to spruce it up, you can put some music in the background, but you don't have to. Ultimately, people want to see content. So you shared a story a while back about someone who hit icon, doing pretty much just that. And I know you work with a lot of realtors, and some are investors too. Some are just realtors looking to do more sales. But I'm just trying to illustrate a point of how content, valuable content to your target audience, when you provide value, that comes back. But you shared a story on how someone hit icon, which with EXP, icon means you cap, you do some more transactions, you get your cap back, refunded back as a stock award. So it's like, it's huge. I've hit it twice in a row. Mallory talked about it like year 2. She's about to hit it. You talked about people who've hit it year 1.
Mhm.
And you may have some other examples, but can you share any maybe tidbits about that, and then maybe even make some comments and translate that over into the investor space of how investors could use content like that, the document don't create, to provide value and build their business?
Yeah, I mean, so like one of the reasons why you see so many agents joining us with the XP or Wolfpack organization is because they're finding out that we're training them up and beyond what XP has to do. So we've created a private, independent YouTube training system for you guys to teach you guys how to do this, or at least for our agents. And so last year alone, we had multiple agents. I mean, we've had numerous agents hit icon stats their first year. We had one agent using the simple strategy that we taught them, basically working out-of-state buyer leads from California to Texas. They put their post on the internet the other day, 82 transactions, almost $67 million in sales their very first year. And they're basically almost averaging $1 million a lead coming in here from California. We got another agent, Adit Asoma, first year agent, came in with us. He's now a millionaire in 2 years. He did over 50 houses his first year using YouTube, doing basic strategies, similar to that. So we have another agent, John Pena, about to quit the industry, left his brokerage, came over with us. Now he's financially free within 12 months. So this is happening over and over and over and over. People just don't understand it because, it seems difficult to them because of perception. So one of the things you guys need to think about right now is, are things in your business or things that you see in your future difficult? Or are they off a perception of difficulty? Because there's perceived difficulty and then there's real difficulty. And a lot of times we don't do things because of a perception of the time investment, the dollar investment is going to be bigger, harder, stronger tougher than we thought, right? So we create this giant monster in our mind that we're going to go face. And a lot of times it's just sitting here, a little tiny guy, right? So the perception that this is difficult is high. The actual difficulty is not that high. I have first year agents coming in and doing tens of millions of dollars in sales with just 1 or 2 basic strategies that we teach them. So once someone says 2 + 2 is 4 and it's simple common sense, once you guys learn what we're going to teach you guys, if you partner with us, it's going to be common sense. You're going to have an edge on the marketplace because it took us years to figure this stuff out. But once we know it, it's just rinse, repeat. So we've had a lot of first year agents doing this, and also with investors, Chris. It doesn't really matter. But like one of the things that one of the best things that I like YouTube for is if you're going to be targeting as far as like investment properties right now. As you guys know, very low inventory. A lot of people fighting for this low inventory makes it very difficult. So you need to come from a different approach. And what a lot of people can do right now, guys, is if you use a basic, you figure out some basic paid ad strategies. And we're not talking a lot. One of the things I like, and I know we're talking about evergreen content, but I think this is important to say right here because it kind of plays on both sides of the platform. Let's say that, like someone's going into foreclosure. What would they type in at night? Let's say at like 2 a.m. if they're up stressed out. Think of like a keyword. What would they go into Google and type? How to stop a foreclosure, how to stop my foreclosure, right? Those are the keywords that they're going to type in. Now, what's going to happen is YouTube is going to suggest pre-existing videos on the internet. It's going to suggest them for them to choose from. You're going to get all these different videos from different channels. Let's say one video at the top has like 72,000 views, and it's on how to stop foreclosure. That's going to be a view aggregate across the entire world on that platform watching from people from Texas, people from Florida, people from Canada, people from Mexico, right? Now, let's say you're trying to only market in North Texas or in your market of Miami or your market of LA or wherever you're at, right? Out of those 72,000 views that video has, what if, let's say, only 195 of those views actually came from the market that you're in, meaning people in your market watch that? You can go in through YouTube settings in the back office and use kind of their system behind the scenes, and you can run an ad so that your video pops up only when those 195 people watch that video, not where you're paying for all those other 72,000 views. So what does this mean? You can get in front of the exact person you're trying to get in front of, and it feels like it was directly sent to them, because when they pop on YouTube, that video is going to play for 5 seconds. It's going to be, hey, it's Connor Steinbrook. What I do is I teach people how to stop foreclosures in the marketplace. I give you all the solutions to figure out how to stop your problem on your own. But if not, I have multiple solutions where I can help you in a short time frame. And then I drive them somewhere, right? So what you're doing is you're diving down to the exact person that you're trying to find, who's trying to find you by the words they're typing in the internet. And you're getting on their computer at the house talking to them, as compared to waiting for the next day for them to get a postcard in their hand. So this is just one of the most powerful things that you can do. And then once they click that, remember, the next click for retargeting is cheaper, and you have a longer term follow-up because your dollars go farther. But there's just a lot of really powerful things people can do with video on YouTube that people have no idea, and that are incredibly simple to do, that literally take a few minutes to learn how to do. But people don't say.
And so we talked about Gary Vee, who's kind of the king of social media marketing and leveraging social media from a branding standpoint. But he was on I was listening to him sitting down with Tom Ferry, who is one of the most influential real estate agent coaches right now. And Tom was telling Gary that one of the most impactful marketing methods that a realtor can do right now, out of all marketing methods, and he works with thousands of agents, is pre-roll YouTube ads. So exactly what you described. So pre-roll meaning before the YouTube, and when you watch YouTube, that 3, 5, 30-second ad that came up before you watch the video. It's that, just because of how well it can be targeted. So,
I mean, you can.
if you're not utilizing these strategies, one, you don't have to pay for it. You can do the organic. It's a little slower, but it's there and it's good. And as far as YouTube's concerned, it's organic because Google owns YouTube. But you can get in front of more people. It's evergreen. And I implore you to look at, TikTok's changed the game with short form content now, in which all platforms are now trying to implement that. So we got TikTok, whether it's a 30-second up to 3-minute pieces of content, very, very simple, that realtors are starting to get on there. They're starting to build their businesses on there, and they're getting leads. Like I've talked with realtors that are getting leads and doing business on TikTok. YouTube has short form content. So get educated, do your homework, but you got to implement this stuff. You got to implement it, because at the end of the day, this is why old dogs who dominate industries start getting market share taken away from that 18-year-old kid, the 24-year-old young buck that comes in the industry. They don't know as much, but they know how to connect with an audience, and they'll learn the game. But connecting with the audience, if they can do that better than you, I mean, people don't know you, or they'll start to forget you, and you'll lose market share over time. So,
I mean, literally, you can take people's market share from them. I could literally run my ads on your channel, on any of y'all's channel. So, like, if I want to get in front of you're running building a YouTube channel organically, trying to get people to come see the message you're sending, I can actually talk to them first before they watch your video, because the ad's going to pop up first. So I can run an ad on a YouTube channel. I can run ads on specific videos. I can do all sorts of different things with the analytics behind how YouTube gives us a system to operate through. But yeah, I can literally run an ad on all my competitors' YouTube channels. So I'm right there, the first thing that homeowner or that client's going to see before they actually see the video that they're trying to click on. So think about how powerful that is.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, Connor, that's a wealth of information that can cost a lot of money in other platforms. So appreciate giving your time and your wealth of knowledge. And I look forward to seeing you at in our next mastermind call. So we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Chris. Keep doing what you're doing. I always respect what you're doing. I was out there grinding, doing things in the business and killing it. So I appreciate you inviting me on here. And guys, I hope I helped you learn something today. You guys have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.